Woo! Is he a pro?
I give a super aggressive punch with my right arm. And in order to lay the bike, you actually want to carve on the takeoff.
Rider number 6.
Oh, sick. Dirt Merchant, let's do some scrubs. Welcome back everyone to my channel. I'm Rémi Métayer and this is my most requested video ever. Today I'm gonna show you how to scrub. Let's go. Scrubbing is really easy. There's only really 3 steps to follow. Step 1. Find the biggest drop in the bike park. Go as fast as you can down it. Second step. Lay your bike as hard as you can on the takeoff. Third step. Close your eyes and hope for the best. It's worked for me for the last 10 years or so. More seriously, the scrub is a skill that's really difficult to master. It is for very advanced rider. Someone that is really comfortable riding bike park, but also riding all type of jumps, whether they drops, doubles, table, hips. It is probably the last jump skills that you should learn, but it is extremely fun and it's also very, very useful, especially for someone who is trying to race, someone who's trying to go really fast. It was brought to the world by James Stewart, which is probably one of the most skilled motocross racers to ever exist. If you don't know who he is, you should definitely Google him. He's inspired a ton of riders. He's inspired me, but also Loic Bruni, Loris Vergier, basically any pro riders has looked up to James Stewart at some point in their career. And he was basically racing and there was this big jump. That's the first time I think that people really started to talk about it. Other riders would slow down before the jump really high, and when they land, they'll accelerate. Whereas James was coming much faster than everybody else, not braking and laying the bike on the takeoff, which allowed him to stay low, get back on the ground faster than everybody else, and accelerate faster than all his competition. So he was significantly faster. And now it's a skill that every pro mountain biker, every pro motocross racer masters because it is absolutely needed in order to win races. So now every pro rider can do it, but he was really the first one to do it and he's inspired me. The first time I wanted to learn a scrub was because I had seen him doing on a motocross bike and I thought that, well, you can also do it on a mountain bike. And so after, years of practice, it finally clicked in my head on how to do it, and today I'm gonna teach you what I've learned over the last 10 years of doing scrubs basically every day.
Woo! Woo-hoo! Is he a pro?
If you already know how to scrub, this jump here on Dirt Merchant in the Whistler Bike Park is awesome. Why? Because it's super fast, the takeoff is very wide, the landing is even wider, you can really carve the lip, which is something we're gonna talk about a bit later. The face of the jump is long, progressive, and it is very predictable, and I really enjoy it. But if you are learning how to scrub, first I should take you down something a little bit more mellow. Let's go. So this is a way better jump to learn how to scrub. We are on lower A-line, and this jump is pretty special to me because that is where I felt like I finally understood how to make a scrub. That was back in 2013, my first season in Whistler, and this two-pack is pretty famous because usually I have a bike park photographer posted right there that takes picture here, so everybody is trying to do cool scrubs, cool whips, but I really like it because it's a pretty safe jump. It's not nearly as big as the one on Dot Merchant. You don't have as much speed. The takeoff is really predictable. You've got a nice corner to set up. You can throw a couple of pedals to really generate speed. And not only you have one jump, you also have a second one that's a little bit bigger. So you build experience, confidence on the first one, and then you apply it on the second jump, which is a bit more committing. So yeah, let's take a look. I really like this jump because it's slightly to the left, and I do my scrubs on the left hand side. I can also scrub on the right, but I'm definitely more confident and more comfortable on the left because that's how I learn and that's how I do them normally. And like any mountain bike feature, like any mountain bike skill, what's really important with learning scrub is learning how to set up properly for the jump. So in this case, we've got a left-hand corner, which is actually really nice right now. You can carry really good speed. So I look ahead on my corner and I look really far ahead on the jump so I can set up where I can take off, where I can set up. And when doing a scrub, there is that notion of laying the bike on the takeoff, which is behind me. And in order to lay the bike, you actually want to carve on the takeoff. So me, I'm gonna be coming on the left-hand side and I'm gonna slowly move to the right on the takeoff. So when I lay the bike towards the left, that allows me to land in the middle of the landing. Let's interrupt that scrub video because I'd like to give a massive shout out to one of my oldest sponsors, E13. I've actually been riding their carbon wheels since 2017. I've got the LG1R DH on my downhill bike, EN on my trail bikes. And yes, the wheels are light, they are compliant, they are dynamic, but for me the biggest thing has been the reliability. They are World Cup tested, there is a no-fault lifetime warranty, and for the kind of riding I do, even though I like to think I'm a pretty smooth rider, I do make really big mistakes, and some of my mistakes have huge consequences. So having a set of wheels that strong has been amazing. I also run their cassette, chain guide, sealant and valves. And I have a code for you, Remy15. So head over to e13.com, make sure you use the code Remy15 and you get 15% off all your order. Thank you. The good thing about a scrub is it's not like a backflip where you have to commit to do a full rotation on your first go. A scrub, you can work your way to fully committing and fully clearing the jump while laying the bike on the takeoff. So what I mean by that is you can at first go slow and really work on your trajectory and work on understanding how to lay the bike to make sure that the bike doesn't go up but stays low on the ground. So that's what I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna come at about half the speed that I will normally do and really learn to make myself heavy as the bike is taking off and pushing the bike on its side so the bike cannot go up and has to stay on the ground. So let's have a look. The reason why I'm able to lay the bike the way I do on the left hand side is because when I come on the takeoff, just before the front wheel is about to take off, I give a super aggressive punch with my right arm. I run left foot forward and I prefer to scrub left, but when I do scrub right, I still keep obviously my left foot forward, and there is no general rules. Each rider got their own preference, and for this, unfortunately, you have to figure out by yourself. So find a jump and slowly go both sides. See which one works best for you, and when you master one side, you'll do the other side. But giving a punch as you take off is extremely important. The bigger the jump is, the more commitment you want, and the flatter you want the bike, the most aggressive your punch is going to be. So yeah, let's do some more. So the technique I just showed you is, in my opinion, the most efficient way to do scrubs. It's purely focused on going as fast as possible. It is not the most stylish though. In order to be super stylish, you want to lay the bike, keep it flat like a pancake, push with your legs so you can whip the rear end, and then obviously bring it back. When you do that though, you're usually not as fast as what I just did. Actually, the technique I have right now, on this jump of A-line, if I go as fast as I can and if I scrub as hard as I can, I probably will case the jump. If I do that though, I'm gonna be losing time and I won't be as smooth. So the technique is really to be landing perfectly into that transition, use my core, use the suspension and push on the bike to carry really good speed out. So once again, the idea of the scrub is to be efficient but also safe. Because if I go as fast as I can on that jump and I don't scrub, I'll probably land in the corner at the bottom. So once again, it's a really good bike park skill to have. So I just gave you tips on how to take off for a scrub, but I just realized we haven't talked about the scary part, which is how to land from a scrub. And that gets a little bit complicated.
No!
So one of the common messages I get is, well, I'm trying to whip or I'm trying to scrub, but I keep landing sideways. What's your tips? Well, I always keep eye contact with my landing. So as soon as I come on the lip of the jump, I'm already looking at where I want to land. Then I commit to doing the scrub and I punch my handlebar toward the right hand side, but as I'm doing that, I'm always looking at this landing. And as soon as I punch the bar, I make like a pretty brutal movement to put back my handlebar perfectly perpendicular with the landing so I can get back that front wheel straight as soon as possible. And when doing that, I try to activate my core to control the rear of the bike so the rear wants to get back in line. And if you look on all my videos, I'm always landing front wheel first. Why? Because when you are in the air, trying to bring back the bike can be quite difficult. But if you put your front wheel first, then you have contact with the ground and it's much easier to activate your core and bring back the rear of the bike, which is why most people, when they scrub, at least on a mountain bike, they land front wheel first. On a dirt bike, you've got the acceleration of the bike, which obviously we don't have on a mountain bike, even on e-bikes. So I think that's that's my secret. Thanks a lot for watching that video. I hope you learned how to scrub today. It was brought to you by E13, one of my longest sponsors, and you can check out the link in the description. When you use the code REMY15, that will give you 15% of any of their product on the website. As always, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment with what you want to learn next. See you next week.